Alright, hey everybody. I hope everyone's having a great Friday. Definitely ready for the weekend here. Um, so today we're going to be getting back to game development. Specifically working on trying to connect a second player. So before we had gotten a little work done here, but then I decided that I really needed to just sit down and figure out exactly how all the netcode is going to work. And as I did that, I found a few problems with how we had made it this. And so it actually does not connect anymore. You can see it's stuck on the intro phase right here. So today, I already did a little work because I want to try and get past all this netcode because we spent a long time doing all this with moddable chess, and so I'd like to actually get to some fun game design and programming pretty quickly. So we'll see. Maybe I can work on it some this weekend, but that's what we'll be doing today. So here's, let me zoom in a bit, diagram for just a general client flow. And again, if you're not familiar with this, this is a start, and then an arrow, and then these rounded rectangles are basically an action or a state. And each one of these I've actually diagrammed in detail, most of them anyway. This triangle is like a decision, so when you get to it, you branch. It can also be used to merge. And then these are like shortcuts, so basically if you cancel to create a game, then you'd go back to there. So what we want to try and do, because ideally we only have the play screen working right now, and we would like to have a second player try to connect, but I mean it's no use trying to make a whole separate code path to be able to connect in the play screen. So I'm gonna try and just make extremely bare bones versions of all the rest of this, and fortunately it will make things a little slower to load and test out, but I think it's probably for the best. If we want to have rapid testing later on, we can probably figure out some way to hack it in. But yeah, I mean I don't want to spend a whole lot of time creating a special code path for something that's not going to be in the final game, basically. Unless it saves a lot of time, but I don't know if it actually would save a lot of time in testing, I mean. Anyway, so let's just get started. So I think for the title screen, we really just need a way to choose if we're going to create or join a game. So okay, so one way I think I might do this. Trying to find the right class. I guess I'll just look here. Yeah, we have this game link loader. And we had thought that if you loaded the game while you're in this play screen, that we would have a special load mode. But I'm not sure how useful this will actually be. So I think maybe how I'll do this. Oops. So in the game logic, well, I guess we'll make another folder here. Okay, so I'll just put this all under the lobby. And the lobby will basically contain the title screen, the create game screens, and then the actual lobby. I don't know, is there actually a reason? I'll merge them into one namespace, I don't know. I don't think so. Okay, so we'll have the title controller class. This will be an auto controller. Oh yeah, I think it needs a constructor like that. Okay, so kind of how we do it now is that when you start the play controller, or the map controller, I mean. Yeah, it will load the Unity scene. I don't think I'll do that for the title controller because we can have a separate test mode and it will just like automatically quote, I'm doing air quotes here, press buttons for us to load the game up as we want. So let's go ahead and add in like a test object here. What would it be? No, it doesn't really. UX is like for graphics and sound. Okay, so what we'll have here is we'll be able to specify if we want the game to automatically create or set up a host mode, and you can have a port, public string, address, public string, username, public string, password. I think that's about it for now, and I'll make this a scriptable object. So that way we can edit it in the Unity. In the Unity assets. Might even be nice to be able to have like different I'm trying to say, like different profiles, and that way we can have. Actually, I think that's how I'll do it. So this will actually be a profile class. And we'll have one profile for the editor and one profile for a separate game. Oh yeah, I need to put serializable right here. Okay. I don't think there's any way to create. Let's do this real quick. I don't think there's any way that you can create a scriptable object easily. Why did it switch views like that? Okay. So let's grab a file from an older game of mine. Okay, I'm gonna need to look through my file system to find it. And what this will do is it'll allow us to create a scriptable object from any script in the editor. I'm kind of surprised that Unity doesn't have this, but the difference between a scriptable object and a mono behavior is a scriptable object is just one script, whereas a mono behavior can have obviously multiple scripts on it. Okay, editor. Oh, it's not here, maybe it's. Okay, right here. That's okay. Okay, so I don't have the editor in here yet. Let's put this in Beluga so that way I don't have to worry about it anymore. And I'll have to create. What is it? Oh, I closed it already. I think it was like scriptable object utility. Make sure to use Unity Editor. And this needs system IO. Okay, so let's put in a namespace, I guess. That will do fine. Okay, so now when I open up Unity, I can go back to this test params class. And I think create scriptable object. Okay, that works, I guess. And then I'll put it in. Did I already have a resources folder? Okay, I guess not. Oh, I have it in test resources. I guess that works fine. So I want the editor to be a host. Port it on port 100. Actually, don't need to have the address right there. Okay, so this host, we'll just call it. Username will be the editor. Okay, and password. Bunny, that sounds great. Alright, so yeah, this will be useful because instead of having to enter in those values every time like we used to for moddable chess, we'll just have a way for the game to like automatically enter those values in for us. So let's have public bool. Okay, so I guess we want several modes probably. I guess we'll just have. Well, we know it's going to take us all the way through to play, so let's call it autoplay. Yeah, we'll worry about if we want to change this later. I have a feeling that we might want to change that to flags so that we can set all kinds of different combinations, but okay, so now back to the title controller. Basically this will do nothing unless test params is what we want. Alright, so we also need to do the singleton pattern like I explained before, where there will be only one object loaded. Let's put it after the definitions. So we can go down here. So we don't do it like this, we'll actually just load it. Maybe we can just say test params and it'll be able to figure it out. Since this is a scriptable object, it's treated as an asset instead of an object. So we don't have to worry about don't destroy on load, for instance. Okay, so test, let's just have this. Print out the test params, instance, editor profile, username. Okay, and now game link loader. I guess I'll keep the load mode. I don't know if I'll actually use it for anything, but this will actually change to title controller. Okay, yeah, now it says editor, and that's what we have the username set up to, so it did work okay. And these are just because the field collider and the monster models expects that component to be loaded. Yeah, so we'll have to deal with that. So another thing I can see here is instead of having to say like if in editor, use editor profile, otherwise use the other profile, I think we'll have a helper function here. Current, that'll be fine. We can use these preprocessor directives is what they're called, and this basically runs different code depending on how this code was compiled. So if it's compiled in the editor, the code here will get compiled, otherwise it will compile this code. So I guess first we should call load, and return instance. You can see that since this code is in gray, it's not even going to run. Now we have to just change this to test params current. Let's see how that works. Okay, it still shows editor, so that's great. Okay, so now looking here, actually, I didn't do one for the lobby title screen, but that's fine because there's no netcode there. So if it is the host, basically it'll just create the next game right away. So I think probably a better idea is just to wait one frame. So game controller equals new. We don't actually have it yet. So okay, so the create game and join game can pretty much be handled by the same controller, and they'll just have slightly different code, or not different code, just a if else. So what should I call it? I guess this create game is fine. Be the create game controller. Okay, and this will probably be a bit more complicated than title controller, but we'll get to that in a second. We also should send it test params current dot is host, which means that it's going to create a game. Close create mode. Hi Ricardo, you're here early. Good to see you. I'm pretty good. How are you? Alright, so let's do a little debug here. Just to make sure everything is working as I expect. Yeah, I'm still working on the Pokemon game. It's probably gonna be a while until I finish it. Like, a few months. Okay, so now it goes to the create game mode, which is what I wanted. Okay, so I did have a diagram for here, so let's just take a look. So really all we do is just set default parameters and just set all the values. Okay, so we don't really need to do much here, actually. So really kind of all this will be handled in this controller, because it'll also create the server, and then if it fails, then it'll display some kind of message. Oh, Microsoft Visual Studio? Yeah, that is pretty big. Did you get like the entire Windows suite or something? Okay, so I don't really want to, I think I'll just be lazy and do everything in the actual controller for now. Obviously at some point we'll need to branch out, but okay, so where do we actually set the information for the server? Client info. Okay, this is JavaScript, Python, and Unity. Okay, well, that explains it as well. So that's fine. Maybe it's this local connection. Yeah, the password. I don't need this anymore. Okay, so I guess I didn't create the part that actually makes the, or sets up the server yet. Oh yeah, because we were just pressing the button on the HUD to do it. Okay. But I can just call this Unity link start client. Let's see, do I do this anywhere? No. And not server anyway either, so it's fine. Okay. Alright, Carta. Have a good one. I just noticed when I forgot to add the signal to set the password. Alright, no problem. Actually, this was kind of lazy in general. That should have an arrow that goes back. If it's So I'm not gonna do this. I thought it actually stored the passwords as integers, but there's no real reason to complicate things. I think the only difference between this and the join game, yeah, is the address. But we won't do any of this kind of stuff for now. Yeah, this really should have a message. I guess actually it happens. Yeah, it does happen here because we have to create the server and then we send the server a message to set this password. I think before I did it in the server config, which, I mean, I guess it kind of works, but I think it would be better if we keep this separate, and then, because sometime in the future we might want to have the server run on a separate machine than the host. So, just in case, we can have it connect through messages. Okay, and if that's the case, then this should just always maybe I'm overthinking it. Because I was gonna say maybe it should just always validate the host, kind of like how we did it before, but if they're on a different machine, then it would be some other person that would have to tell it what the host is. So yeah, I'm not sure if there's really a reason. So I guess I'll do it instead of just exposing that server config object in case we need to separate it at some point in the future. I'll just use a good old messenger like we've done before. Okay, so let's make something, I don't know, post messages. This class will just hold a bunch of messages for the host to contact the server. This could actually be a command. And there will be other ways, or other things that the host will need to do. I think that's how we'll end up doing it this way. There's no reason to muddy up this with a bunch of keys just for internal messages. not anyway. Going back and forth on this. Well, actually, yeah, for the password, that should never actually go through. Because even if we did have a separate server, like the server on a separate machine, the password would be set on that machine already. Okay, so I don't know, I'm pretty sure I'm overthinking this, but let's have this Unity link provide the password to the server. So public static action server set password. Maybe just the server start. Oh, it can actually start here. I'm not sure when that would ever happen for us. This should be an action string, actually. So let's look at the rest of the server config and see if there's anything else like that. So we have the password. Okay, this is a client. It's not like this actually. Should be a string for a username. Oops, pressed the wrong key there. And how I'm going to do the username is, the first time you run the game, it'll ask you to type in a username and then it will save it for you. And that's how the game will try to identify what player you were if you have to reconnect, instead of doing those passwords. Because the client passwords, I mean, it was a good idea, kind of, but we have to save them into a file to reconnect anyway, so the host would have all the passwords regardless. So it's kind of strange thing. Password's gonna be a string. Okay, so the only other thing we have to change here really is the username and the slot state. And this would be changed, should be changed by messages anyway, so I think the password's the only thing. So the connection validator, I'll do it this way, Unity link server set password equals set password. And if we ever do this some other way, I mean, it won't be difficult to change. This is all going to be a lot different, so we might as well change it now. I have this server flow, but I didn't bother to create all of it because, I mean, it's really not that complicated for the server. I mean, the server basically just relays messages, but I did make the validation. sorry. So connection already verified, we just won't do anything. Password mismatch. Okay, I actually don't want to do this anymore. I forgot to delete it. And then if any slots are open, it associates the connection and username with the first open slot. And if the username is associated with the slot, then you need to check if the connection, if some connection is already associated with this slot. Get a little more clear. Then we reject. Okay. So then we just send the validation success. What's this U? Oh, okay, so all the connection state. Okay, so let's see. We don't need this anymore. So I think I can get rid of it. Yeah, because a lot of the problems here had to do with me using the logic from the modelable chess game, but the thing about modelable chess is it was only 2 players, and this is actually multiple players, so it's can't use the same kind of thinking. Okay, so let's see here. So message is not equal null, which, and then the connection already verified. That's what this does. So we don't need the game phase anymore, but that's password. So that's really all. Got rid of one of the tiers there. And then, so now we need to see if username is associated with a slot. Slot for user. Copy this whole thing actually. Okay, so yeah, if the slot is taken and slot dot, oh wait, client dot username equals username. Should probably, I'll just use equals equals for now, but we might need to change that. Okay, so int slot for user equals slot for user, and we get message dot username. Okay, so if slot for user greater than 0, greater than equal to 0 actually. Otherwise, we need to see if there's any open slot, which is what this does. First, get open slot. So we have int open slot equals get open slot. And then we'll have one other thing, private void associate slot, and it'll have int connection ID and string username. So where do I... Okay, so the connections is actually what has this ID. Oh yeah, so we create new right there. Okay, so then set client dot state is taken, and the username, and then we need to create a new connection. Okay, so that's about it. I'll have this bool accepted. Okay, so then we call associate slot, slot for user, connection ID, and message username, and then we'll set accepted to true. And then we'll do the same thing here if open slot is greater than or equal to 0. Oops, I don't want to cut it, just copy. So let's see. Else we reject it, so we just leave accepted false. What else do we? So we need to send result message. Not sure. Yeah, that's actually a bug I sent it. Oh, this is if not accepted. We'll do it like this. Okay, so if accepted. So we need to know the client ID, so okay, I should do it this way actually. Or maybe I'll just put the send result message in here. So connection ID true. And slot ID. So let's get rid of that. And so if not accepted, oh, and then I need to say connections. What is it? Connection. State change, send. I guess we send the connection ID. Or actually it's a slot ID, I'm pretty sure. Alright. We fix that, and it's quite a bit simpler. Again, we just try to match the user to the slot that they've already taken, and if that doesn't work, we try to match them to any open slot. Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to do while I remembered is we have this send message to all, which is okay, except it will send messages to connections that we haven't validated, and we probably don't want to do that, so I think I just comment this out. Hey Ricardo, glad to see you back. I'm sure there'll be some errors because of that, but we'll fix it. Two server configs? Why is that? namespace already contains a definition for server config. It's kind of strange. Okay, I'm gonna restart because I don't think that's true. If I got confused when I moved the file. Okay, apparently it's still telling me that. Get a register. That's fine. Okay, we won't actually do this anymore. Not like that anyway. Glad I found that. But I'm not sure why it's saying there's two. I certainly don't see another one. Let's just try. Okay, what does it let me do? Client slot state. That's what we expect. So why does it say there's two of them? Asset scripts networking. Oh. There's still some reason it left over there, but it just seems to have just copied the server config file instead of moving it. Okay, that's kind of weird. I can just delete this one. Local connection holds password and client, but it doesn't hold the port. Probably should. Just in case we need it for something. Also, password is a string now. And then I guess a server config can also... It doesn't really need to know it, I don't think. Well, maybe... I'm trying to decide, is there any reason that we have to save this here? I guess I'll just leave it blank until we know. Okay, so anyway, back to the create game controller. Okay, so let's wait one frame. Test. Create. Post. Oh, I don't know, let's test create clients. Test parameters profile equals test params current, and if if p is host, then Unity link, create host, or is it start host? Okay, now it's start server. And we would use port and the password. Start client. Address, the password. Oh wait, port. And then we also need to set up the local data. What's it called? Local connection. Is it a global component, I think? Okay. Alright, let's get our register. So I guess we'll set this up before we create the client. We don't know that yet. I guess the local C will also hold the username. Seems like it's fine. Alright, there we go. So if test params.mode equals. Oh, that's not how I can't do it that way. Dot instance dot mode. What do we call test? Create clients. Okay, so let's see how this works. I think it's actually going to try to create them multiple times. So I better make this safety variable. Alright. Oh, errors. Okay. Alright, yeah, so this is just setting up things. We don't need this here anymore. So let's get rid of all this stuff. I guess we still do need this server game. So that's fine. Okay, what else? Validation requester. Oh yeah, so we don't need to do this at all anymore, thankfully. And the request message just needs the password, which is local connection password, and username. Very simple. Oh yeah, we have send message all. Okay, so I'll comment this out for now. Yeah, there's a bunch of errors from this. But yeah, we need to be more selective about about who we send data to. Yeah, I'll need to update this pretty quick, I think. Actually don't need this GUI at all anymore. I guess I won't delete it outright. Alright. A bunch of warnings, but we'll worry about those once we've got everything working. So client connection seeking, validating. So it sends password. Server validation fail. That's interesting. Check Twitter, okay. Oh, finally finished installing, good. Now you can get started. Visual Studio is really nice. It is big, but I think it's worth it to learn. It's much better than the default code editor that comes with Unity anyway. Okay, so validation request. Maybe we should be a bit more descriptive here. So if message is not equal null, or if message equals null. Valid message, and else if, oops, messed that up. And yeah, let's check. Copy this, and so if this is true, then we know that connection already validated. Certainly better than dev C++. I wouldn't know, I haven't used that one, but C++ in general is hard to use, so I wouldn't be surprised. Alright, so next, check if the passwords don't match. So, yeah, password mismatch. Actually, that's probably the problem because... Actually, that's definitely a problem because I never... Oh wait, no, we have this right here. So never mind, that might not be the problem. Okay, and anything else, there's a... cannot find slot. So let's see what this gives us. Be able to figure out a bit what the problem is. Password mismatch, okay. That is a bit weird. Actually, no, do I even call the password set in the Unity link? I don't think I do actually. Let's get rid of all these extras. Okay, and then if password is not equal null. Okay, and then I also need to change this to set password callback. Okay. difference between a project and a file? Well, a file is just one little script. Like this message key is just one file, but the project is like the whole collection of scripts. Server validation failed, cannot find slot. Okay. That's because the server needs to create a default config. So I guess on connect, no, this is on start. Here. So config set clients to 1. And on stop will also clear the config. So, just realized one other thing here. On the connection validator, if the server doesn't have a password, we should probably just let anybody through. So public bool, check password. So if config, oh wait, let's see, if string is null or empty, config password. Then we return true no matter what. Else return config.password equals message password. No problem, Ricardo. Alright. I guess I'll change this down here. Not check password. Okay, so now it should let me through. Oh, it's still then it's like cannot find slot. Actually, I wonder if the server actually maybe this connections watcher, like it's called too late. So let's see when that debug log happens. Okay, so it's right here. So this, I think it's okay. Oh, but I think, right. Config, I need to make sure the get client 0 state is open so that it will let the host in. It still didn't work. Oh, hey Alpha Gamer. Good to see you again. Can't find slot, okay. A little surprised. Maybe I should be a bit more descriptive on that error message. connection validator. So apparently that there's no slot for this username, and also there's not any open slots. But I'm pretty sure I just set one. So let's just print this out. So 0, none. So let's see. See when all the times this is set. Oh, this is the only time we set it. Oh, also here for taken. But that's when we call associate slots, so that wouldn't be the problem. Oh, also, you need to make sure that some other user hasn't like this part on the diagram. Forgot about it. Some other connection is already associated with this slot. I need to handle that. So if connections get data for client. Oh, don't I already have something for this? Client. Yeah, client has connection. This will take care of that. And that's not the bug that we're having here, but I've forgotten to add that code. So the reason on the start server is supposed to set the state to open, but then for some reason when we get down to here, when it's actually looking through all the slots, it says it's taken. So controller game. Trying to see, did I maybe create two different server configs? That's happened before. No, it looks okay. Let's clean that up a bit. The client, it's right here. And yeah, the set work is right there. I'll go ahead and put a debug log that will be called every time somebody changes the state. And then we'll be able to maybe see if it's getting changed in some other place that I don't expect. Actually, we can see here that that code doesn't even show up in the log. Oh, okay. Yeah, I made a mistake. Silly bugs always take forever to fix. But yeah, I accidentally put this code in on stop. It needs to be on start. Okay, so now everything should work. Okay, so yeah, now it accepted us. So, oh yeah, I had this get state. Don't actually think I'll need that there. So now, after it's validated, it's connected. Actually do... No. That was just like something I was testing out, but don't actually need it. So I'm gonna play one more time and see how far it gets. Okay, so yeah, client connected, but nothing else happens. Okay. So, looking back here, you can see that if the server fails to be created, which can happen if you're already running a server with the same address and port, then it would try again, but we're just going to assume while testing that everything works okay. So then we need to get the server phase, and we'll enter in the actual lobby. So probably this lobby class will be the part that actually gets the server face. It's just kind of separate, just for ease, because you can, here I'll show you the lobby diagram is gigantic, so we won't have to implement all this right now. The important part is we'll basically set some parameters for the game from our test parameters, and then we'll just click the ready button, or pretend to click the ready button, because we won't actually click anything, but the game will automatically do it for us. Okay, so let's see here. Let's go back up here to the create game controller. So after it does this, it'll call, or it'll create the lobby, I think. Oh, so we need a new folder actually. So we want to name it something else. Okay. So I already have a folder, but it's not showing up. It's the only thing I don't like about Visual Studio is it doesn't like to show empty folders for some reason. Oh yeah, so I guess I created this lobby already. So C# script, and it will be lobby controller. Put it in the right namespace. Game logic. Okay, we haven't created the lobby namespace yet, so this will be the first class. It's not a mono behavior, it's a auto controller. Now this is all ready to go. And we can call game controller. lobby controller, and then we'll pass the game. Okay, I guess it will know if it's the host or not, because like, yeah, right here is the most obvious way, but there's a couple times it'll need to know if it's the host, and you can just look in the local connection to find that out, I think. Actually, I don't, maybe it's not in here, but probably should be. Okay, that's fine. Right here, I'm looking for. So local connection is host equals profile is host. And one other thing I need to do, maybe I already do this, but validation requester when it receives the result. Okay, I do. It needs to set the client ID, so that's good. Should be 0, I think. In fact, I think I'll go ahead and log this out in case. Okay. And then I'll just create another debug here. See if we get all the way to the lobby. Okay, so client slot ID is 0. Oh, we do get to the lobby, but it's actually before we connect. So I think that might cause a problem, because the lobby assumes it's already connected at this point. Because in our code later on, if you're not connected, the lobby will just kick you back out. Let's see, because I have that somewhere. Yeah, host disconnection, leave. Okay, so I guess we'll need to wait until we're connected here. Okay, so if there's that client connection launcher. What's it called? Okay, yeah, we don't need this connection helper. I'm gonna go ahead and delete it. Okay, this client info. This is good for so we can know about the other players. But is this ever connection manager? Oh yeah, so it's in the play. Okay, so this is the class that kind of took care of that. Yeah, so we'll need to do that later. Update it. Okay, it's called R connection launcher. Create game controller. This game component sketch. And I think it's a global component. Okay, yeah, that worked out. So if watcher.state equals. Really, it's not gonna work? Oh, it's a state machine, okay. Equals int client connection state connected. then we can go ahead and move to the lobby. Alright, so let's see if that still works okay. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So a lot of time actually. So we reopen that so I should be able to read it. Alright. So what we do here, let's look at the lobby. So there's a bunch of stuff about updating mod lists, but we don't really need that right now. And we actually don't even need to know what the game state is because we already know what it's going to be since we just created the server. But actually, maybe that we should go ahead and implement the state in the server at least. Alright, so right now we have the server game phase, which we're going to combine everything, but I think I'll change this to server play phase. Let's rename all these. And this is probably going to be changed a lot too, because when I was making the play scene, it's really cyclical, so we might be able to make this easier. But I think we need to at least do 2 tiered states like the rest of the game, just to make things easier. Oops, sorry, my voice is really dry. Oh, it's a little better. There's a couple more to move here. Alright, so this is now the play phase. And I'll have a separate game phase. We don't really need to put server in front of everything. So start off with none, and then lobby, loading, team build, play, and results. I think that's all of them. Hey Sinocron, nice to see you stop by. I think I'm not forgetting any. It's lobby, loading, team build, play, and results, and then it loops back to the lobby. Okay, yeah, that's correct. So the server will provide this phase to anything at any time, basically. So we'll say, let's make a phase provider. And kind of just copy this code. So yeah, in the other code that's actually the play phase, but so we'll go ahead and rename that. And then I'll make another one for the game phase. And unlike the client, I don't think any of these other game phases will need subphases, just besides the play scene, at least for the server. That's fine. Just delete that. Explain the basics of this program. Yeah, it'll be a lot easier to understand once I get out of this netcode stuff, which hopefully, I'm really hoping, will be sooner rather than later. I feel like I know how to do everything now that gotten everything diagrammed out. But once we get to the, I keep on saying the fun programming with the actual game, I think it'll be easier to understand. Online multiplayer is just difficult in general, so. Seed request. But if you have any specific questions, I don't mind to answer them, so feel free. So that's fine. So request phase, and then server request phase. See what you have so far? Sure. I think it'll compile, but right now I'm in the middle of trying to connect to player 2, so it's not much to look at. Yeah, just the server gets registered, we send the password and it gets validated. You can read down here. I wish I could make that bigger actually, but yeah, it says now the client is connected because it has the correct password, and then that's just telling us we got to the lobby scene. Earlier we had a little ball moving around here, but because I could click and move tiles, but can't do that at the moment. Okay, so this is the client request phase. Oh, I'm editing the action thing. I'm gonna get rid of that because I always do that by accident. See. Okay, and then we'll send it back. I guess I'll need to. Okay, so this server game phase is actually going to need to go in just the plain networking namespace because we'll send that in a message, so that's fine. Server game phase, okay. And then we'll need the phase message. And like with all Unity messaging, you need to inherit from the message base class. Otherwise you won't be able to send anything. And we'll just send the server game phase. I thought I just added that. Oh, okay, I just call it the server phase. I guess that's probably better. I think I'll have time to watch Tutorials Monday because you were sick with fever. Oh, I'm sorry, Storm. Yeah, I guess that's the silver lining of being sick, but I still don't know if it's worth it. Okay, so why is it? Maybe the server phase is not public. Yeah, it should be. Okay. The reason that we need this is, oops, actually I accidentally left that running. You can see on the client flow, there's a couple times where we're like right here after everything's loaded. We need to know if we're in the team or the play phase to go, which screen to enter next. And that's kind of synchronized on the server. And not worth it because of the headaches. Yeah, I definitely agree. Had 3 headaches? Wow. Basically all day then. Okay, so that's not how we'll do it actually. Okay, so this time we'll just send a message back to the person that asked for it. Oops, new message. What did I call it? Phase message? Oh, new server phase message. There we go. And phase equals server phase state. Okay. I'm sorry, Storm. It's not very fun. Right, we don't care about that actually. So we'll send this no matter what state the server's in. Okay, and then I guess whenever this phase is changed, we'll go ahead and fire a message as well. I wonder. Well, I guess I'll wait because we probably won't want to subscribe to this directly. Instead, we'll have some command that will tell us when to send the message. Alright, so I guess go ahead and add it. We don't really need it right this second, but okay, so new phase provider. Alright. So this is there when we're ready. Let's go back to the lobby controller. Okay, so now let's go back here. So we get the lobby or the server phase, but we already know it's going to be in the lobby phase because we just created it. So I mean, the actual game will need to check, but not us for this testing. And if we're the host, we'll set the parameters. If we're the client, then we'll need to wait to get them from the host. Don't need to do mods at all. And then we'll just press the ready button. Make sure that those will be valid by default. And then we set ready to true, which sends a message to the server, and so then we just wait to get that message back from the server, and then we'll start quote loading, which we won't actually load anything at this point, but alright, so again I'll just build everything in here for now. So the first thing said is we need to set the parameters if we're the host. I guess I'll wait one frame. So we don't have any weird race conditions. So if test params instance mode equals autoplay. Okay, so let's get the local connection. Guess this is in the networking, that's why it's not showing up there. Okay, now we need this mostly to see if we're the host or not. That's what I want to do. Want the components, please. Global connection and global components. Oh, it always happens. Okay, so if local connection is host, we need to set all the parameters for the game. So let's see, where would we put that? Well, it's kind of something that the whole game needs to know. So but maybe it could be in this data class or data namespace. So we have the game data in here. Sure, why not? Makes sense, I guess. Okay, so this will be the lobby parameters. Let's go lobby params for short. And as I said here, contains the different mods that will be active, as well as the type of player slots that we want, which is basically just how many players, how many AI, and then a random seed for map generation. The slot types is actually... Oh no, I guess it's not held anywhere else, is it? No, because we'll send that information to the server and then the server stores it separately. So that's actually good, it simplifies things a little bit. Okay, so public. I won't even do the mods right now because we're not going to do anything with them. So right now we'll just have the player slots. I think that's it. So slots, oops. I guess this should be a public class as well. Oops. And I need to correct the namespace like always. Still got about, sorry to knock the mic, still got about 15 minutes I think. Alright. Okay, so we'll have slot type. Oops, I forgot to tell the class type there. So none is open. It is default value, and that's basically means nobody can play there. And then we'll have taken, which means some player has connected and is in that slot right now. Then we have open, which means anybody can come connect to it, and AI, which is obviously an AI. Which will be simulated on the host. Okay, this is a type. This should actually be private. I don't know. It's fine. I think everything else in here is all public. Yeah, because they're just data classes. Where was I? The lobby. Clicked on it. And then we also will need an integer for the AI script. Yeah, that's interesting. I actually hadn't thought about how we'll set the AI scripts, but I guess that's just be another parameter in here. So it kind of goes with this. Alright, so that's fine. Okay, and then we'll need static creator so I can easily register it to the game components. Alright. Private lobby params. Oh, we can't do that. That's fine, I guess. Let's get or register. Okay, and so I need to create a new enumeration key for this. So I'll just use my little shortcut. Okay, and so now we're ready to do it, to set everything in the parameters. So I'll go back to this test parameter class and we can add what we want. Okay, so let's have another serializable class, player slot, and we'll have, this will be the lobby params. Let's do it this way. No, it's actually not in the lobby, it's in the data. Slot type. And then I'll just have an integer for the AI. And we kind of want this because if you remember last week when we made the second controllable player, that was set to AI script -1, so that's why we want to set that. So public player slot. Okay, so now we have this set up, and so we'll know, our lobby controller will know to just create that many slots. I'll just get the instance so we can easily look up slots that we need. And then so test param slot. then we'll just... Okay, well first we should, I guess, clear out the current slots in the lobby parameters. And then we can add a new one. So type equals slot type, and then AI script. Okay, so now we've done that. Let's go ahead. Set that here. So we'll want 2 for now. And they'll be open. Okay, so actually this parameters doesn't technically care if the slot's open, it should just be player. Now that I think about it. Server will be what keeps track of what slots are taken or not. So let's non-player and AI. I think that's it. So the server, will match these slots up to its slots in the server config, the client IDs. Okay, so we want this to be player, and then the second slot will be AI with a script of -1 so that we can control it. And okay, so far so good. Now we've got to be able to send the parameters to the server. So let's see, how does this work? Yeah, so it's an update all, and then there's also just update a single parameter. But I wonder if we'll actually separate them in practice, or if that's maybe just to help with this. I guess it would be a lot of data to send everything over. Well, maybe, I don't know. I think for now we'll just combine it all into one message. So lobby params message, and then if we see that for some reason it's causing a lot of network traffic, then we can make smaller ones. But I mean, I'm thinking too far ahead because we won't even need that until we actually start programming the lobby interface. But so I guess I'll also make and this will also have the lobby params. Oops. Oh, I'm not using the right namespace. mostly the reason that we can't just send the lobby params class over itself. Well, I mean for two reasons. We want to kind of separate them in case we need to change one. It won't affect everything that uses the other. But also, you can't send lists over the internet. So we have to just send an array instead. So it's kind of like this message just takes a snapshot of the parameters and makes it able to be sent over the network. Okay, and we'll definitely want this to be in another class in the future, but for now we can just say send parameters. Oh no, we don't need to do that. Actually, we need to create the message key, so C. So set lobby params, and then we'll also need the C request lobby params, and then server response. Did I ever? Okay, yeah, this nothing uses it yet. So, Unity link. Okay, but I can't do that just yet. Message equals new. Okay, so message slots equals lobby param. Oh wait, so new. And it's the same size as the current slots list. Length. So message slots s equals new, and the type. Okay, I don't like to do that. I make it a rule so that if I ever have to access an array element twice, it's much better if you put it into a variable. Otherwise you get really messy code. And AI script equals slot.ai script. And now we just call Unity link send our client send message. What else? Oh, I forgot the key, of course. Lobby. Okay, set lobby parameters. So let's see if this will work. Okay, I gotta call it. Okay, so something's going wrong. Let's see. Oh, the slots are empty. So LP slots. Alright, there we go. Okay, so it's sending the message, but it's saying that there's no handler on the server, which, yeah, we haven't created that yet. And it does keep on doing it forever because I did that in a tick class, so I need to have some kind of state handling, but okay, so alright, well, I think that's it for me. We're at a pretty good stopping point. So I might have some time to work on this during the weekend, so we can try and move on with this netcode and get to some more fun things. If that's true, I might be able to stream it, I might not. So feel free to follow my account and or my Twitter, because you'll be notified either way if I go live. But no matter what, I'll be back here Monday at 5 Eastern, and we'll hopefully be done with the netcode and be working on something a bit more fun. But thanks everybody for coming by and watching and chatting. I appreciate it a lot, and I hope to see you next time. Alright, and I hope you feel better, Storm. Alright, bye bye.